Edwards is going to dive underneath and take the lead. Wow. Hamlin had his hands full in the middle of that corner, and it looked like he bobbled for a minute. Edwards got that center of the corner run and just nipped the back bumper. And by the time Hamlin got it straightened out, he was back in second place.
That was crazy. Did Carl just run into him? What happened, Alan? Could you tell?
I thought Hamlin wiggled first, and Carl got him while he was wiggling.
I would almost bet that's what happened, because if Carl had turned, I bet he wouldn't have took the position. Let's see. He's down under a lap car. That's going to hurt his momentum. And Carl hits him. And then he hits him again. And then he passes him. What do you think about that?
I think I want to see that one more time.
I think it'll look exactly the same. Carl's at home, man.
He's out front. Carl Edwards, the Missouri boy, now leading. Let's see if he can hold it to the checkers. TNT Sports live at Gateway International Raceway in St. Louis with the Nascar Busch Series in a 250-mile race. A race delayed over an hour and a half by rain. A massive thunderstorm coming through this track area earlier tonight. And setting us back a little while, but eventually the track dried. The fans still here, stuck with it. We appreciate that you did too. We've seen some pretty wild racing here lately.
Carl decided his car was faster than Diddy, so he would just knock him out of the way and go up there and lead. I tell you, if you ran into Dale Earnhardt like that back in the day, you better make sure you were fast enough to drive away from him, because you wouldn't make it to the next corner.
Top 10 through the field and check on our front runners. We'll start with the leader, Carl Edwards, and Lindsay.
Carl Edwards holds firm to that top spot, and you guys saw that. Your eyes weren't deceiving you. It was just a little bit of a love tap there for Denny Hamlin. His crew right now is debating whether they think that he can make it the entire way, but he has said that his problems feeling stiff in the corners are getting better, and they're just going to make that choice. But right now, he loves his car. Ralph?
Denny Hamlin's car is really tight, although he seems to be making his way to the front of the field okay, but it's not performing the way he wants it to. He is going to have to make one more stop, as is all the rest of the teams. They're planning their next stop to come around lap 180. That next car that we'll talk about is Clint Boyer. Now, Boyer is only, his lap times in the radio is about all he's hearing. The two cars seems to be pretty good. He's very happy with it. No conversation back and forth from the driver. Scott Wimmer in the 66 has 2 sets of tires left to choose from. He's been real quiet on the radio. He's set to go, just waiting for that last pit stop to come, Lindsay.
The number 1 car of Mike Wallace has made its way up to 5th place. Mike Wallace said that he always flies over the tracks he's driving in his chopper. Today when he did it, he said this place looks just like a teardrop. Right now he says the car is great. They're going to pit with 10 to go. Ralph?
The 99 of David Rudiman is desperately in need of more front grip. That seems to be the problem that he is having to make the 99 as good as it can possibly be if he wants a shot at winning this thing. The 27 car of David Green has had a horrible night, as far as David will tell you, the way the car is running. But when you look at the running order, he's sitting in 7th. At one point in time, he thought he had a possible broken shot, and right now, he says in his current run, it's the worst it's ever been. But Lindsay, he's still solidly in the top 10.
Right behind David Green sits Kenny Wallace. Kenny Wallace is feeling great in his car right now because it was a little bit tough in the turns, but when they brought it in, they made an air pressure adjustment. Kenny says you guys did a great job. Ralph?
Harvick's car was very tight just before this last pit stop. When they went to work on it, fixed it, and now Kevin says the car's in pretty good shape. Of course, he'll have one more shot to make another adjustment on it. And as we ramp up the top 10, that takes us to Reed Sorensen, who won this race just a year ago. He, too, is still lacking front-end grip on this car. And, Alan, they're planning on pitting around lap 170.
Which is about 22 laps from right now.
In the battle for the lead, these two have been going at it. But when Carl looks in his mirror, here comes Clint Boyer. He's the fastest car on the track. He's caught these two. We're fixing to have a 3-way battle for the lead, Alan.
Boyer has had what he told me earlier today was the winning car the last 2 weeks that they didn't win with.
He might have it again. That thing's come alive here late going.
Boyer from Emporia, Kansas.
Side by side. Battle for the lead.
Yep, here we go. Carl just can't quite make it stick underneath Hamlin. Now, when Hamlin got the lead back from Carl Edwards, it looked a lot like the way Carl got the lead from Denny.
Well, Carl dove under a slow car, a lap car, passing him, and the guy squeezed him down onto the apron. Got Carl sideways, and it was the opening that Denny needed. He drove back around Carl. Carl's obviously a little bit faster than Denny. When he got in front, Denny couldn't challenge him. And now that Denny's in front, Carl is just wearing Denny out. And here comes the corner. This will be fun when they all three get there.
Yeah. So, 50 laps to go. About to have a three-way race for the lead. Another pit stop coming up. Let's take our break now so we can come back and see what happens up front here. Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards have been the class of the field tonight, but company's coming in the form of Clint Boyer. So you want a little three-way race for the lead late in the event. How about inside of 50 laps to go? Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards, and now Clint Boyer trading around those top three spots.
Look at Carl getting jiggy off the corner.
Now, Edwards and Hamlin running in the same spots they were when we went to the break. But it wasn't that way all the way during the break. Well, let's see. This is Carl going by Denny.
And look, licking his chops there in third. He's saying, race, boys, I'll be right there. Carl gets around Denny.
And then the return favor.
We've said all night long that it looked like that 20 car had something special down the straightaway. He used it right there to get the lead back. And now, there they are. Tied together.
And Clint Boyer right there. I'll tell you what, these two guys are racing hard.
No, it's fun too, isn't it?
It is.
We ran 130 laps and didn't Denny lead about 120 of them. And now they can't even decide who's going to lead the next lap.
And with Carl Edwards being a Columbia, Missouri guy, all these fans in this grandstand, just about all of them, are standing lap after lap after lap, trying to see if the hometown guy can take the win and get the lead. Actually, it would be the opposite. Take the lead and get the lead.
Well, I knew it.
You were with me there, weren't you? For now, things settle down just a bit, but it seems like every time they've settled down, they've flared back up again.
Well, a little bit of lap traffic. And, you know, also, Alan, we're closing in on another set of green flag pit stops. These guys could be coming to pit road any time now, any time in the next 10 laps or so.
He saved between 170 or so, somewhere in that ballpark.
Carl running the high line. Denny down on the bottom.
From the pit of second place runner Carl Edwards. Here's Lindsay.
You guys talked about all of the Carl Edwards fans standing up. Well, one of them is sitting on top of his pit box. The boy that you see is a 15-year-old Josh Basinger. And Josh Basinger is a child that first met Carl Edwards back in sometime after 2000. He's a child that suffers from a disease of the nervous system. He is here through Make-A-Wish. But Carl became such good friends with Josh that he invites him to his races. He was in a truck race with Carl a couple years ago in Daytona. He said, Josh, I'm going to win this race for you. Carl Edwards did. He made it to victory lane. He gave Josh the trophy. And today, he's hoping to do the same exact thing, guys.
Be just another one of the many happy people here in St. Louis if Carl Edwards is able to win tonight. But he's going to get around the man who's led the most laps, Denny Hamlin, in the Joe Gibbs Racing 20. Lap 161 complete. Down to the closing stages in St. Louis. A lot of NASCAR racing coming your way next weekend from Indianapolis. First Saturday, 10 a.m. TNT, Bud Pole qualifying from the Brickyard. And next Saturday night, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, NASCAR Busch Series racing from Indianapolis Raceway Park. And a week from tomorrow, 1:30 Eastern Time on NBC, the All-State 400 at the Brickyard. We start with Bank of America, countdown to green. Kyle Busch falling into the fray of the leaders, about to be put a lap down. One of the guys who's been on the tail end of the lead lap since the restart. just past the halfway point in the race. And Kyle running in 10th place. And going to be a lap down. Brief update on Mike Wallace. He was in 5th place a minute ago. Not anymore.
Had a battery issue. Had to come in and switch it out. It's a shame that car was running so. Mike's done a great job in that car. You know, he got in it partway through the season and sharing it with Cale Gill. By the way, I'd like to congratulate Cale, Mobile, Alabama native, won the ARCA race last night for the 30-lap overtime performance, which I'd never had heard of before. But Cale's a development driver. He's sharing the seat with Mike, and I think that'll help Cale tremendously. Oh, what? Battle for the lead. Imagine that.
Edwards by Hamlin. Hamlin's going to try and double back. This has been good.
Look, Carl got up high. You saw those marbles start to flare out from his tires. I'm sure you heard it hitting on the bottom of the car. Probably made him back off and gave the lead right back. Did he ever? He didn't even lead the lap, did he? He said, "Let that one know."
So, Hamlin back out in front. And they are bottled up in traffic again.
Wow. These two are making twice as efficient. Or
Just about since we came off of the last pit stops under the green and then the caution. Look at these people all standing. And they're seeing a great race between these two.
every time, like you said earlier, Alan, every time you think they got it sorted out,
Yeah.
Here comes the other one. Charging up and trying to take the lead back. Carl's got to run off 2 there. Look how high the front end of that car is up on that straightaway. And the way it sets down in the corner. Wait till you watch the All-State 400 from the Brickyard next week. You won't see any of that going on.
Yeah.
Those cars will be sealed straight to the ground all the way around. Here, it's a different story.
Got to take a break. Green flag pit stops coming up. If they start happening, they'll break out and come back. Right now, 2 men trying to settle this among themselves. The Busch Silver Celebration 250 on TNT is brought to you by AutoZone. The auto parts experts at AutoZone. Get in the zone. AutoZone. By Nexium. Learn more about Nexium at purplepill.com. And by Wendy's all-white meat crispy chicken sandwich. Do Wendy's. Do what tastes right.
I'm not going to guess what that purple pill does.
I can tell you what that one does because I've had that one before. That's acid reflux medicine. We have had, I talk about do what tastes right for the commercial report. This race has been right for its second half tonight between Denny Hamlin and Carl Edwards, 20 and 60. Back and forth for the top spot. Now Carl has lost a few car lengths to Denny, but we're coming up on green flag pit stops.
When you watch how fast he's liable to gain those car lanes right back. They've gone back and forth like a yo-yo.
Well, it was interesting because on the first set of pit stops that happened in the race, under caution, lap 39, Edwards had a bad pit stop, fell from 2nd to 4th at the time. Then under the green flag pit stops that happened at the midpoint of the race, Hamlin had a bad pit stop. It got Edwards in front of him. Pressure's on these crews in this last stop.
It's going to be big. There's Rudeman. He just drove around Wimmer up to the 4th spot.
Nice job for the Michael Waltrip Racing entry tonight.
Man, I don't think that car has been in the top 5 since all those guys crashed in Nashville that day and I won. I think I've been paying for that ever since, but David's doing a great job. He's driven it up to the top 5 late in the going, and it has a fast car.
Trying to say you made a withdrawal from the luck bank that was
I overdrew.
overextended, huh?
These pit stops are going to start happening regularly now, Alan.
How about Carl Edwards getting ready to come in? I see his crew standing up on the wall as we look down from the booth here in the front straightaway. Where is the 60 car? He's faded way back all of a
What's
sudden.
happened? I bet that's the case.
What's the case? He missed the pit entry the first time? Is that what we're hearing, Lindsay?
Lindsay, is that what they're saying?
That's exactly what happened, and it's devastating for this crew because they just had a meeting and they're trying to obviously find the quickest way they can get him in, get him out. He's coming around now. When he comes in, watch for the strategy that they're going to use. And now when you think about it, they're going to have to do everything they can to make up that time. Bottom line is for Carl, this car fits him like a glove. This is the car car that he won with in Nashville and in Loudon. He almost made contact